Hi guys, I want to answer a question that keeps coming up in my videos and has been coming up more or less since the start of chapter 2, and that is, why do I use the Skyforge Steel broadsword? And my standard answer has been, for a long time, because I don't have anything better. And that is just true. I do not have a sword that's better, or at least I did not have a sword that's better. Technically, actually, as of about 3 episodes ago, when I took the glass perk, I took the perk that allows me to craft glass items. Technically, the glass broadsword is now the best sword I can make. So this would make the Skyforge Steel broadsword the second best sword. I mean, that's the thing. I think people think it's a terrible sword or it's a bad sword. It's not a steel broadsword. It's a Skyforge Steel broadsword. And they're pretty damned good. They are better than Elven. I think they're better than Orcish, although don't quote me on that. They're not as good as glass, I think. I think they're somewhere between Elven and glass for effectiveness. They look reasonable. They're not offensive swords. I mean, there are some swords I wouldn't use because I don't like the look of them. For example, this isn't actually a sword. This is an axe, so you can't even judge this one. This is an axe, and I just don't like the look. I don't. It's just, that's it. I wasn't a big lover. I'm not a big lover of this type of thing. It's a bit too. Oh, it's not terrible actually. Isn't it a two-handed sword anyway? I think that might be a two-handed sword. Yeah, it's a two-handed sword. Well, actually, that looks better than I thought. So yeah, so there is a whole heap of reasons why I might not use something. So for example, the glass broadsword. You're never going to see me wield one of these, I don't think. I really am. I've never understood what Bethesda were thinking with this weapon. Or with the Elven weapon, to be honest. I always think of Elven weapons as being slender, delicate, and yet all of their weapons look like, I don't know, look like the armourer was trying to make a mace and an elephant sat on it, and they thought, look at it, it's a sword now or something. I mean, it's horrible. It looks like a giant green cricket bat. So not a big lover of it. Although, as I said, technically this is now the best sword I have. It is. It's the best sword I have. So, but people are going, no, you've got this sword, you've got that sword, and this sword is better, and that sword is better. No, I don't. I'm not totally sure why you guys think this, but I think it's because I cut out all my crafting scenes. So I'm going to go along to my horse, and let's take that one. That could be a good one, right? Blade sword. Someone said, oh, you got a blade sword now. I hope you're going to use that instead. No, because it's not that good. But look, that's a two-hander. Ebony broadsword. This, with the remodel, is actually nice looking. I gotta be honest, now that I've remodeled this, I might actually start using this one, enchant one, and start using this, even though it's not as good as my Skyforge Steel in stats. I mean, stats are important, but sometimes for me, how I feel about something is better. Mind you, I have a lot of attachment to the Skyforge Steel because it is it's Skyforge Steel, isn't it? It's part of being a companion. Elven broadsword. Let's take one of those. Although I can't stand those either. They're horrible looking. Mirax broadsword. This is an example of a horrible sword in my opinion. I do not know why anyone would want to use that. It's not the fact that it has this horrible tentacly thing. That's actually kind of cool. It's horrible. I just do not like the look of it. It looks enormous. It looks more like an axe or something gone slightly wrong. I don't know. Maybe I can find a remodel for this. But again, it's not even a good sword. And it's not. But let's take it. Sika Wakizashi. Let's take that. Soul Render. Why not? We've already got one of those. Alright. So, there you are. I've taken all... Those are all the swords I've got. That's all the swords I've got in my horse and in my inventory. And I go along to the grindstone, because it's only fair that I compare them as far as I can. Ingot moonstone. I don't have any ingots moonstone. Excuse me. Help. Okay, I've already got the list. Moonstone. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is I am going to give myself unlimited amounts of, what's that one? AD9F of everything, so that I can basically improve everything. Alanor Katana 68. Now remember, what we're looking for here is, as a comparison, is the Skyforge Steel Broadsword, which is currently crafted to 74, right? So, 68. Not better. Azura's Moon, I can't... Wait, why can't I craft that one? Oh, it's a bug with the menu. It's telling me... Oh no, you know what? I think that needs ebony. Yeah, and I can't craft ebony. Blades Sword, 71. Now that's pretty close, to be honest. That is close to the Skyforge Steel Broadsword. It's a little lower. But I would consider using that because it does look nice. It's very slender. I like slender blades. The only reason I'd be tempted against it is I prefer Western style blades in these type of games. It's just that's me. I went through my whole Samurai Ninja phase when 20 years ago. But now I'm in my Game of Thrones phase. There you go. The Bloodscythe Scimitar 87. This is a good weapon if I can craft it up. Unfortunately, it needs ebony, so I can't craft it up. Ebony Broadsword, again. Not as good as the Bloodscythe, actually. You know what? Once I get ebony, Bloodscythe is definitely a good option. But I prefer the way this looks. Now, this is good once I can craft it up, but I can't craft it up yet. Elven Broadsword, 71. Still not better than the Skyforge. Glass. Here we go. First one. 79. But again, no. Mirax Broadsword, even when I craft it up, will not be as good as... And I need ebony and a Daedra heart. And it still won't be as good as the Skyforge Steel. And it looks 50 times worse. Revenant Dwarven Dagger, not good. Seiko Wakazashi, 66 when crafted up. Soro Daito. Oh, that's terrible. 56. And so on. As you can see, Skyforge Steel Broadsword is, apart from the glass broadsword, and that is only something I've been able to make very, very recently. So you guys have been asking me this for over a chapter. I wasn't able to make this. I think, from my perspective, the only sword I would consider going up to would be the Ebony Broadsword. And I need... Well, I think once I get back to town, now I've got this new model, I'll probably switch anyway because I like the way that looks. And I'm hoping to get the Ebony perk soon, and I'll be able to craft that up. Apart from that, everything else is either a hell of a lot worse, or doesn't look as good. Or both. I mean... There you go. I think you guys have got the wrong idea of how the Skyforge Steel Broadsword is. When crafted up, it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And so that's it. Now, obviously, Richard is currently not here. I've cheated to get here. He is elsewhere, and when he next gets to a forge, he may, if he can get his crafting up, switch to ebony. But in the meantime, none of the swords I've got are good enough to replace the Skyforge Steel one, with the sole exception of the Glass Broadsword, which is a recent addition to my arsenal, and I don't like. So that's it. So I hope this settles the question. I do not... people keep accusing me of having a lot of swords that are better than this one. I don't. I have one sword that's better than this one, and it looks terrible. And that's it. So, anyway, I hope that helps you understand why I'm still using this very, very good sword. I'll also point out, I don't use it often enough for it to be the major thing. Still an archer through and through.